Okay. We're prepping for the big one. We're gonna put a some type of track down right here, like a tin can stud, something you can set your bike in with a couple of lips on each side. You pick up a tin can stud, say 4 by 8 foot long, and make it work for you. Bolt it into here, and you can transport your bike right there. One of your electric mountain bikes. You may be able to put another one there too, but I think we would just try to do one per trip. We're prepping everything for the big one. Yellow Pine, Idaho. We'll leave the Tuesday after Labor Day. We picked up a new battery for the bike. It's on the battery tender. And we bought it from Rocky Mountain ATV, the best price, let's say $110. If I bought it locally here at Ride Now, it would be $180, $185, I think. So every dealer here in this town is getting skyrocketing prices. You know, ever since we had these professional franchise leagues move into this town, rents have been going up. Everything's been going up. Even if you want to go out and have a burger at In-N-Out Burger, they're going up. Everybody's going up. But in any case, we did I gotta find that fucking nail. We got a new battery for here. I thought it was original battery, OEM part. You know what I'm saying? It is a Wayusa battery, Yusa, and but it was a little bit taller than the battery that was in there. It wouldn't fit into the battery tray. Now, it wasn't bad, but the rubber strap that holds it in, you had to stretch it more. The negative terminal wire almost didn't make it. You know, shit like that. But anyways, we got it in. We're good to go. We sprayed the Jeep for bugs. So when you're on that camping trip and a bug does get into the Jeep, spider, whatever, he's going to have issues. It's been sprayed. Oh yeah, we do have a new battery for the Jeep also. So that's done. We get a little bit bigger 750 versus 730 cranking amps. So we took care of that. The dirt bike is 100%. The oil is beautiful inside of it. We're thinking about bringing a mountain bike with us, but we do have to make a tray on that trailer to carry it. And once you get it in that tray, you can tie it down quite easily. I got tie down loops all over the place. But what you do is you get a tin can stud. It's like a piece of framing metal that they use to frame houses, or mostly tentative improvements inside of in commercial buildings. But you get a piece of that from Home Depot. Get an 8-foot length, whatever it is. You cut it, bend up the sides, screw it. Your bike fits right inside of there. You can trim it if it's a little bit too long. You only need a little bit of a lip on each side. You're gonna strap down the wheels to the stud. The stud's gonna be bolted onto the rig, 2 bolts. You tie down the bike, boom, and there's plenty of room for the bike right there in the front. We put in the bigger propane tank, or not bigger, but it's got more propane in it. So I got 2 tanks. This one's about half full, the other one's about 3/4 full. So we decided to go take the bigger one. The rig is ready to go. We were having an issue with too much sun coming into the rig and rain. And so I put this bonnet on the front here. You're going to take it off when you do your highway travel, and when you get there, you'll put it on. I can see there's an issue. The sun is hitting it and it's warping a little bit. Not a big deal. It's functional. What it's going to do is it's going to keep that much more sun out of the cockpit, that much more sun off of the dogs. I mostly put it on for the rain. If we get stuck in a heavy rain, which is what we did on the last trip, you know what I'm saying, the rain was falling on our lap here. So with this here, you won't have an issue with rain, and you won't have an issue with too much sun coming into the cockpit for the dogs. Not only that, it's tweaked up a little bit, so it'll pull more air into the cockpit when you're flowing down the trail. More air conditioning. But that's just something I wanted to get done, you know, because we had problems with rain on the last trip. So, you know, coming into the cab, I mean, we had to stop. You'll still have to stop, but the rain won't be able to come in on you. Let's see, we got that propane. I found my third headlamp, so that's kind of nice. You want to have multiple headlamps on a trip. If the batteries go on one, 9 times out of 10, you don't have time to change the batteries right then and there. And a lot of times you carry a headlamp in the rig too, so, I mean, you should anyways. Oh yeah, initially I had bought a battery for the motorcycle there, for my dirt bike, from Bulb's Batteries Plus. They sell a battery for about $95, whatever it is. It's a cheap ass battery. Don't buy your battery from Bulb's Batteries Plus. I put it in the bike, it was flat dead. I put it on the trickle charger for 24 hours. It could barely turn over the bike. It's a cheap battery. It's like one of those $50 batteries you see for sale on Rocky Mountain ATV. Very cheap. You're gonna have nothing but issues with that battery. So I took it back. They gave me my money back. They checked it to make sure it wasn't shorted out. You know what I'm saying? And then I ordered one from Rocky Mountain ATV. It came in today. I just put it in. Had some issues putting it in. The battery's a little bit too big for the compartment, about 1/4 of an inch. So it made it difficult to reconnect the negative terminal. The positive terminal was long enough, no problem. But the negative terminal, I mean, maybe I could have made it longer, went inside there, maybe snipped some black electrical tape, and maybe I could have stretched it. But I already had the battery in place, and I already had the positive connected, because you always connect the positive first, then the negative. And I was in the process of connecting the negative. I realized that the wire's a little bit too short. I mean, I can make it work. I just got to do a little bit of work. And I did it and got it to connect, and boom. But man, it's a fucking pain in the ass. You know, I've been watching these hunting expeditions on YouTube. You know, some of these hunting expedition, and man, I mean, it's really beautiful backdrop, but absolutely brutal conditions. You know, to hike out there, you're hiking miles, maybe 10 miles, and you know, to tear down your camp, set up camp, set up your air mattress, set up your sleeping bag, set up your stove for the tent. They got hot tents, and you do all that setup, and you got to put skirt bolts or sod around the perimeter of the tent so you don't get a draft coming in. And then you have to cut firewood, either 10 inches long or 14 inches long, depending on what stove you get. And you got to collect firewood, and you got to set up your camp, and then the next day you tear down and go to another. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you ever tried to put a sleeping bag back, because they have backpacks. So now the day before, you just unloaded your backpack of all this stuff, the stove, the sleeping bag, whatever, other things also. Your cookware, you know what I'm saying, your what do they call it? Jet boil or something, jet stove. And you just unpacked all that stuff, and now you're moving the next day, or you may stay there for a day or two, but a lot of times you move the next day to another spot. I don't know if you guys ever tried to take a sleeping bag and roll it back up and put it back up in a small compartment, and then roll up your sleeping pad and put it back into a small compartment, and then pack it up back up into your backpack. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? And a lot of times what they do is they may use a raft to get to where they're going. So now you have to deflate that raft, repack it. Wow, it's brutal. Brutal to do all this unpacking and repacking. I don't even like doing it car camping unless I'm staying for multiple days. You know what I'm saying? Even then, to stay one night and unpack and then repack, oh my God, it's brutal. Even though it only takes an hour, if that. I can't even get it down less than that. But, I don't repack the sleeping bag back into a small little bundle anymore. I just throw it into a bin. I'm Jeep camping. But if I used to do motorcycle camping, and you used to have to take that sleeping bag and roll it up into a small little ball and then try to stuff it in this little tiny sack. Yeah, I did it. But at some point, it's like, fuck this shit. But when you go Jeep camping, you don't have to do that anymore. You just take that sleeping bag and throw it inside of a bin, call it a day. And inside that bin, there's other things too. Your pillow, blah, blah, blah. You might have multiple sleeping bags in there. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to just throw them in there and not refold them up and everything. But anyways, we're getting ready for the trip, and it's still a couple weeks away, but we're getting everything ready to go. I sprayed the Jeep for bugs, like I said earlier, and we need to set up the trailer so I can carry a mountain bike. So that's the next thing on the list. I don't think I'm going to be able to take 2 mountain bikes. I think I can only take 1 electric mountain bike. So you'll have to take the generator. Everything adds up to be more weight. Even the batteries for the bike are heavy. 25 pounds there. The generator's 50 pounds. So we have to, and the Jeep is maxed out as it is. So we'll have to decide. We may not take the compressor, maybe just take the small compressor. You know what I'm saying? That will eliminate 25 pounds right there. So we're going to do what we got to do to make it easy on the Jeep. We don't want to overweigh the Jeep down. So when it comes down to if we take the bike and the generator, now something's got to be left behind. You know what I'm saying? We have to stabilize the weight. So, and I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. That's basically it. Hot day, humid here in Vegas. I just cleaned the glass on the Jeep. It was pretty musty. I still have a rock. I have a rock on top of the Jeep roof. I left it there. I was going to show it to you. From my last trip. The big tires tossed the rock up on the roof. And I left it there when I was wiping down the Jeep. Here, I'm going to show it to you. There it is. This is from Utah. It's been rolling around up on the roof on the way back the whole time. It's fucking funny as hell. Now I'll throw it away. You could hear it rolling, when you take a corner, sometimes it'd roll from one side of the Jeep. Then you take a corner, roll to the other side. And the freeway wind didn't even blow it off. It's crazy, man. Anyways, we're good to go, man. I'm glad that we got the batteries replaced, and we're looking good for the trip. So just baby steps. Got plenty of time.